Hello everybody, how are you doing? Welcome back or welcome to Elderflower Stitches. My name is Susie and this is a podcast and some kind of vlogging bits and pieces from the last few weeks. I'm just going to start this video by saying it might be a bit disjointed. I feel like over the last few weeks I have been really inspired to make loads of videos, but then I don't know if anyone else does this thing where you're so excited about a project that you then kind of work it up to being a huge thing in your mind. So I've totally overwhelmed myself and then just like not made a video, not uploaded anything, and you know, so I decided I'm just going to put together all the bits that I have filmed and I hope that you enjoy it, and then hopefully by the next video I'll be feeling a little bit more I don't know what the word is, perhaps calmer about it, and be able to put together a bit more of a succinct podcast and vlog. But I hope that you enjoy this anyway, and just a quick message to let you know that I was reserving a few advents for people who were on the waiting list, but I think that everyone who was on the waiting list and still wants one has got one. So there are a few more advents in the shop. I think there's one DK and perhaps a dozen sock ones. That is it though. There won't be any more after that because I'm dyeing all of the advent yarn. Alexa, stop. My flapjack's ready. I'm dyeing all of the yarn now before baby arrives in a few weeks. So there won't be any more advents after the ones that are in the shop. So if you want one, hop over and grab one now. Anyway, enjoy the podcast, enjoy the random vlogging stuff. Can't even remember what it all is, but I will see you soon. Thanks for watching. Bye. Hello everybody, welcome back or welcome to Elderflower Stitches. My name is Susie and this is my YouTube channel all about my knitting, sewing, other crafty hobbies, and my Etsy shop Elderflower Stitches. I haven't done a podcast in such a long time. I've totally forgotten all the things that I normally say at the beginning, but you can find me on Instagram as Elderflower Stitches, and also I have my own, like, not just knitting account, which is Susie Petals, S-U-Z-I-E, petals like on flower. So that's where you can find me. I'm also on Ravelry as Susie Petals and on Etsy as Elderflower Stitches. I think that's everywhere that I am. So it's been a really long time since I did a podcast, and that is because it's been a really long time since I did some knitting or sewing other than things for the shop. So yeah, I'm feeling a bit out of practice and a bit rusty. So please bear with me as I talk you through things that I've been working on and some things that I have planned. And yeah, I'm gonna pop some random bits of vlogging at the end. I was going to do some separate videos for these, but I thought I'd just pop it on the end of my podcast, and then my aim is to do these a bit more regularly and just pop some vlogging bits on at the end each time. So there'll be a little bit of garden, allotment, maybe baking, and also getting things ready for baby, because if you don't know, I'm expecting a baby this summer. So let's talk knitting and I'll talk through my main whip and my knitting plans. So I haven't actually knit, except for what I've been working on, haven't actually knit since maybe October last year. I'm not sure. I feel like it was just, so I was in the first trimester and was just exhausted, and I just didn't have the energy to even watch TV in the evenings, let alone knit. I just slept after work. So it's been a long time. I kind of feel like a bit of a fraud that I haven't been knitting, but I've been dyeing up all this yarn for people to knit with, and I feel like my shop is very much to do with knitting, but I haven't been doing any myself. But I finally have got my mojo back and I'm really enjoying this project. So this is a pair of socks. Well, at the moment it's just one. And this pattern is from Hannah at Yarnia Designs, and it is the Wild Roots socks. So it's worked cuff down, as you can see. I've done the cuff, it's lovely twisted rib, and then we've got this beautiful lace panel at the front. There's also a lace panel at the back and a lovely slip stitch heel. Let me see if I've got the photo here. There we go. So here is how it will look from the front. This beautiful kind of eyelet lace. I might turn it around on the blocker actually so you can see the lace a bit more. There you go, you can just see it starting to appear there. So I did 1, 2, 3, 4. I did 4 repeats for the leg of the pattern, which is, it's an 8-row repeat. So I did 4 repeats of that and then started working on the heel. And I'm really pleased with that because it comes to a really nice point on my ankle where it's not too high for ankle boots, but it's not quite a shorty sock. It's a bit longer than a shorty sock. I also don't normally do a heel flap and gusset. So I normally do, I don't know what it's called. I normally do the Go Day heel from Jules's Soul Sister socks, which is a really nice fit and nice and easy, but I wanted to kind of branch out. So I thought I will actually do the heel that's on this pattern. So that's new for me. The main thing that puts me off doing heel flap and gussets is having to pick up the stitches, because I'm always worried I'm going to pick up the wrong ones and it's not going to be neat enough. But I think I've done a good enough job. There's no, is it focusing? There's no gaps, no holes in there, so hopefully it's got it. Yeah, I'm pointing at totally the wrong part because that's where I picked up the stitches. Oh dear. And I'll show you the lace on the back as well. So this is how the lace down the back of the heel, back of the leg looks, which is really pretty. Then obviously when you go into the foot, you just, it's just stocking stitched along the back of the foot. And I am knitting this in one of my yarns. This is it focusing? This is Supersock, so it's just a 4-ply, 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, and it's in vintage silk, which is like a kind of putty, grubby pink colour. Anything else I need to tell you? I'm knitting it on my Chowgu red lace needles, which are nice and pointy. I'm sure you've seen lots of pairs of these before, but just in case. So they're really nice and pointy, which is great for knit 2-togethers or slip knits, that kind of thing. So really handy for lace. And I'm using 2.25. My little progress keeper there is from last year actually. It's from one of my Precious Minis clubs. So I did some yarn clubs last year, which were a sock club and then a minis club. I decided not to do them this year because I knew that we were having a baby and I wouldn't be able to keep it up all the way through the year. So I just decided to leave the clubs for this year. I'm sure they'll be back next year though. So those are my Wild Roots socks from Yarnia Designs. Lovely pattern. I have got another whip here. However, it's something that I started a while ago, and if you've seen my podcast from last year, you would have seen this project already. But I wanted to share it because I'm picking it back up again and I want to finish it off. So it is a beautiful sweater which is sock yarn held with mohair. I've actually held it with a strand of taffeta, which is the Surrey silk. Is it focusing again?
Here's what I found.
I didn't say Surrey. Oh, is that focusing? There we go. So it's really fluffy and soft. It's slightly less yardage per 50 grams than mohair, which means that it's slightly kind of fluffier, but it's still a lace weight. Still a lace weight yarn. So holding those two together makes it kind of a DK. And this is the Eius Sweater from Refined Knitwear, and I fell in love with this because it has these gorgeous puff sleeves, which are super pretty. So I've done the sleeves now. No, I haven't done the sleeves. I've separated the sleeves and the body, and I'm now at the point where I just need to go round and round and round and round for the body. So I thought this would be a nice one to just leave on the sofa, and then in the evenings, if I've got the energy, I can just put a few rounds on, like just set myself a target of like 4 rounds an evening or something, so that I'm making progress on it, because otherwise it's just kind of sitting there. And it's such a beautiful, yarn and such a beautiful pattern that it seems a shame to not finish it off. Oh, this is also in vintage silk, by the way. I have a bit of an obsession with this kind of putty pink colour. So it's the same yarn, but I'm holding it with the coordinating mohair. No, Surrey silk. I'm knitting this on my Knit Pro Novas, and they are interchangeable. Not sure what size these are because they don't say on them. I love these for just stocking stitch because they have quite a blunt point on them. You don't accidentally split the yarn very easily, which I find sometimes I do with my Chalgu lace because they're so pointy. Sometimes it's quite easy to split the yarn, even though it's quite a high twist sock yarn. So for something that's just, I don't even want to look at it, I just want to knit, these are really good because they're kind of, they wouldn't be great for lace work, but they are so good for just knitting round and round and round because you don't need to look. They are not going to split your stitches very easily. And they're fairly inexpensive, the Knit Pro ones, compared to the Chalgu red lace, they're quite inexpensive. And these are interchangeable ones. So I put them, when I knit socks, I like to have, I don't like doing the 9-inch circulars. I like to have a longer cable so I can, so I actually have to slide the stitches along to knit. But when I'm doing something like this, I have the smallest cable that I can so that I can just keep going round and round and round. So this I think is like, about a 40 centimetre cable I think, and it just means I can keep going round and round, not having to think about it. And then when I want to try it on, I just twist off the needles, and I've got a cable connector so I can join another cable on and then try it on, and then take that other cable off and just pop my needles back on. So very handy. I've even got the same progress keeper on here. So that's what I'm knitting at the moment. This is an old WIP, but I'm just picking it up again because it seems a shame not to finish it, and also it's just on the kind of stocking stitch stage. So probably a good one for doing in the evening when I haven't got the brain space to be doing lace work, but I want to just knit on something. So that's WIPs. I do have lots of other WIPs up on that shelf up there. Has got all my project bags, and there's lots of other WIPs in there, but I know I'm not going to pick those up for a while, so I'm just going to leave them rather than show you all of them. But I have bought a few other new patterns lately, and I'm planning on making them at some point, hopefully this year. And I will talk you through which ones I've chosen. So they are all from Hannah at Yarnia Designs and Amy from Tailoress Studios. So we have got the Chartres cardigan and the Whitmoor cardigan, both from Amy, and the Fairy Wisp shawl, Wild Root socks, and the Bramble tee, which are from Yarnia Designs. So let's talk about the Amy ones first. So we've got the Chartres cardigan and the Whitmoor cardigan. The Whitmoor cardigan, probably lots of you already know, but it's a seamless, so you don't have to sew it together at the end. Lace yoke cardigan, which is knit top down. The button band is knit at the same time as the rest of the garment, so you don't have to go back and add in a button band, which I'm very keen on. You've got 2 different length options and 2 different sleeve options as well. So that's that one. And then we've got the Chartres cardigan, which is a very simple looking cardigan, very easy to wear. So it's a seamless cardigan, which is top down. Again, the button band is knit at the same time with the rest of the garment, so there's no seaming. Classic fit with a bit of ease, V-neck, hip length, some sleeve drama, which I like. But I think that would be really nice for just popping on in the summer, you know, when you just, it gets a bit chillier in the evening and you want to cover your shoulders or cover your arms. Then we have the Fairy Wisp shawl. So this has got it's some garter stitch, lace weight, a bit like the Birds of a Feather shawl, where you've got some sock yarn and some lace weight like mohair. And it's an asymmetrical triangular construction that you start at the tip and you graduate into the lace edge and then go back again. So you go like that basically. So I'm looking forward to making that. And my main thing is I want to have, so I absolutely love the boho blush shawl. It's my favourite shawl, so pretty, so delicate. I love the tassels on it, it's just, or fringing, it's just lovely. But I want something a bit bigger that I can use to cover up when I'm feeding. And I thought this would be a really nice shape for that without being hot. So that's that one. Then we have got, I've shown you the Wild Root socks already, so I've cast that one on and got started. And then the Bramble tee, which you can't see so clearly there because it's quite dark, but it is. It's a lace, no it's not a lace, it's a sock weight. Yeah, it's a sock weight sweater, and basically you've got lace on the end of the sleeves, which are short sleeves, and then you've got lace around the hem as well. And it's kind of a, can you see a bit better there? It's kind of a boxy tee, a little bit cropped. So I was thinking this would be a nice one just to wear, like she's wearing the picture there, with jeans, but you could maybe, I would probably wear it with like a longer top, like a white, maybe lacy top underneath, and then this just to like add a bit of extra cover and warmth. So those are my plans. I haven't picked out yarns for them yet. I think for the Chartres cardigan I might just go with an undyed sock and mohair, because that would just go with everything. And then maybe grey for the Whitmoor, like Amy's version there, light grey or light blue. I'm trying to be really thoughtful about the colours that I actually wear and what will go with them. Yeah, undecided for the Bramble tee. Probably a similar kind of colour, like grey or a neutral, so that it's really easy to wear. And then for the Fairy Wisp shawl, you've got two different colours of yarn. So there's like a solid, and then a kind of variegated yarn, and then you've got your plain mohair as well. So I think I will use, I've got a skein of some sock yarn from one of my sock clubs last year that I'm going to use for the variegated bit, and then probably just will dye up a solid that coordinates with that and all goes together. Worn out. Shall we talk about sewing? So that's all my knitting and knitting plans. Let's talk sewing. Yes, I've got a couple of patterns here to show you. So I haven't got any sewing whips, but I'm just going to talk you through a couple of patterns that I've got and what I want to do with them. So, two patterns from Sew Over It, one from Simplicity and one from New Look. The first one is Sew Over It Vintage Shirt Dress, which is a lovely classic shirt dress. And I made this a couple of years ago in a poplin, and it looks very pretty, but it wasn't the right weight of fabric for what I was trying to make. It's not very drapey, and I think that I much prefer fabrics that have a lot more drape and are lighter weight, that you can like add layers to keep yourself warm. So things like a lawn fabric or a rayon, rather than the poplin that I used, which was quite structured. So I'm going to have a look for some nice plain lawn, and then once I've got the pattern down and I've got the right adjustments and it fits nicely, I'm going to treat myself to some nice Liberty Tana lawn. The main inspiration for the shirt dress is the dress I'm actually wearing, which is a button down, I guess like a shirt dress. There's no collar on it though, it's just a v-neck with binding. And it's got a short sleeve which has got like an elastic here, and then it's all nice and loose around here. And then it's just, this is actually not a maternity dress, but because of the shape of the skirt, I can wear it with my bump. So what I want to do is take a pattern from this and kind of combine it with this so that I can add on a blouse collar and some of the other features from the pattern, like the bust pleats. They're pleats rather than darts, but use the fit from this. So this is a really comfortable fit around the arms and around the waist, and it's a good length for my bust, which I often have to do adjustments for. So I kind of want this dress in terms of the way it fits me, but to add a few details from this. So it's kind of going to be a mashup of both patterns. Then we have the Sew Over It Rosie dress, which is a nice summery dress. And we have got 3 weddings to go to this year. 3 weddings in August. Baby is due in July. So I'm excited to go to the weddings. I'm a little bit nervous about going along with a newborn baby. And I want something that's going to be comfortable and flattering, and I'm still able to feed baby. So this little sundress is a bit like one of the dresses that I have in my wardrobe at the moment, but it has my dress has buttons down the front, so it's kind of like a shirt slash sundress. So I want to make this style with the nice wide straps with buttons down the front, and then my plan is for both of these actually to make some kind of panel in perhaps some really lightweight jersey or really lightweight lawn that just will cover up my chest, so that when I'm feeding, because it's a shirt, I don't want to have to unbutton and then just everything's exposed. I want to still be fairly covered up, so I thought I might make just a panel that goes across the top of my chest. That's my plan anyway. So both of these are going to have some significant adjustments to make them the pattern, to make the garment that I actually want them to be, that they've got the good structure there for what I want. So adding buttons to this one, and then this one will be a combination of the dress that I'm wearing at the moment and the shirt dress. I hope I'm not being too waffly. I feel like I'm so out of practice with this, I'm just rambling on. Next up we have this pattern, which I think was free. Yeah, my mum got this free with one of the sewing magazines that she gets. So there's a few bits in here, but I am interested in these two here. So we've got a really simple top with, so we have a really simple top that has a grown on sleeve. There's no darts, no shaping, it's just really loose top. So I thought that would be really lovely in sort of silky fabric, really lightweight, really drapey. Anything heavyweight would be quite unflattering, that because it would feel quite boxy and bulky, but really lightweight. And then what I thought I could do is add a little tie in the side seam so that I can kind of tie it at the back, just to give a little bit of shaping. But it would be a really nice simple pattern, and probably once I've got the sizing down, a really quick one to make. Just if I really love a fabric that's nice and lightweight and floaty, that I could just buy how much I need of it and make it fairly easily. Then we have got A, which is this sort of really loose, is it a cardigan? I'm not sure if I would call it a cardigan. It's sort of like a wrap, but it's got sleeves, and I just thought that would be really easy for popping on over dresses. For example, these ones, which will both be short sleeve or kind of strappy, they would be really easy to just pop on over the top and wear. So probably we'll make that in a few neutral fabrics so that it goes with lots of different things. Then last pattern, we have got this from Simplicity. Was this free with something? I feel like it probably was. Yes, another freebie with Sew Magazine. So it is the K8454, and it's a basic top, but you've got lots of different options for how you can alter it and put different sleeves and peplums and all sorts of things on there. So I thought that would be a really good one for once I've got the basic pattern fit right, I can then just adjust it and make my own versions with all sorts of different sleeves and things going on. I thought it might be nice once I've got the fit right to explore adding in pin tucks and lace panels, all sorts of different things. And because it's quite a nice loose fit, yeah, I think it would be quite a what's the word, quite a versatile top. So it could be dressed up in the evening, or it could be worn with jeans and a cardi during the day. So those are my sewing plans, which I'm very excited to get started on. Oh, the sunshine's come out. Oh, it's been really cloudy here this morning. It's still a bit cloudy, but the sun is poking through, so that's much nicer. Now, before I stop talking about sewing, I want to show you something that I downloaded years ago now, and I still find this really useful, and you can still get hold of it now. So I will put some instructions in the description box below which explains how to get hold of this, because it's still available and it's very handy if you like sewing. Or actually you could use it for knitting as well. So it's the collection planner from Seamwork, and it has some prompts to help you think about what you want from your handmade wardrobe. So it's all about not just making individual pieces, but making an actual collection of clothes that are going to become your actual wardrobe. Does that make sense? So it's totally free. I'm not like showing you things that you need to pay for, but you come up with a goal for your collection, you come up with a concept, and then you think about the life contexts. So for me, my life context right now would be being able, like maternity clothing, but also being able to feed baby, and then having clothes that are not too fitted for postpartum and not really wanting to be wearing anything tight and horrible. So, and then you create your own mood board. You think about your palette, so what colours do you like, what prints do you like, and then you think about the criteria. So this brings you back to your 3 life contexts, and then, okay, what do your garments need for you to be able to, for it to fulfill that context, if that makes sense. And then you go into your looks, where you combine the different pieces that you're going to make, and then finally, so there are 6 looks, and then finally you move into your project plans. And I don't know about you, but normally when I'm thinking about making something, I jump straight to this stage of like, what fabric am I going to use, what pattern am I going to use, and just start making it. And I'm not really thinking, how does this fit into my wardrobe? How does this fit with other things I have? I'm just thinking about making that one item, which is fine if it's for a wedding or for a special occasion. But most of the time we want to make things that actually are going to be wearable and usable all the time. So I find this really helpful to stop me from just making bits that are just going to sit in the wardrobe. And I'm going to do a little kind of sew with me series where I put all of those plans into my collection planner, and then we kind of go through choosing fabrics together and cutting out, sewing, all of that. And I just printed it onto A5 and popped it in one of these, which is a little Filofax notebook. They're really great because all the pages are punched with this special punch that you can like pull the pages in and out, so you can rearrange things. Bit of a stationery nerd, so love that. I think that's everything for knitting and sewing. So I'll talk to you. I need to stop saying sew. That is really irritating. I can hear myself doing it. I do apologise. I'm not going to say it now. Next up, I'm going to talk to you about shop things and my plans for the next few months, because baby is due in July. It's currently May, which means I have a little bit of time. I'm actually on maternity leave at the moment, which is bliss. And I did that because I wanted to work on advents before baby came. And I'm now just saying and instead of so. What was I saying? I'm not sure what I will want to do in terms of shop stuff when baby is very tiny. My plan at the moment is that I'll have a few months where I'm not really dyeing yarn and I'm just working on things for Advent. So I'm aiming to get all of the yarn dyed up before baby comes in July. And then I'll just be working steadily on the project bags and just packaging it all up and getting it ready to go. And then my plan is in maybe October time, I will sort of relaunch the shop with some new yarns, new colourways, new bags and that kind of thing. But it totally depends on how things go. I might come back sooner, I might come back later. But I think it would be really nice just to have those 3 months where I'm not like, oh gosh, I've got to get this to the post office on Friday, I've got to do this, I've got to do that. It's more a kind of slowly plodding on with Advent things, and I've had lots of offers of help from my mum and my mother-in-law to help with the Advents or with baby so I can do Advent things. Yeah. And then my plan is in October, when I come back, we'll have some Christmas colourways and perhaps like a Christmas cast on box like I've done before, or a New Year's Eve cast on box. Lots of exciting things. And then hopefully in the new year, which is crazy to talk about at this stage, but hopefully in the new year I'll launch some sock clubs and maybe a minis club as well, because my aim is, and we have to see how it goes, my aim is that I won't have to go back to teaching full time. I really don't want to have to put baby in nursery full time. I think that would be really hard. Even though my mum has offered to help look after baby, you know, I don't want to be a burden to anyone either, so it's a tricky one, isn't it? But yeah, so I'm hoping that that we can do the shop thing and maybe just do a couple of afternoons or bits and pieces here and there for school, because it's such a gorgeous school. I don't want to leave. I want to still be a part of the community there and one of the teachers, but I want to be with baby more. I hope that makes sense. Anyway, there are still a few bits in the shop. There are these things behind, it's too dark for you to see I think, but there are some ready to ship bits from the spring sorbet collection. I think there's only a few bits that are on sock yarn. I think everything else is DK now, but there is the delicate neutrals. Excuse me. As soon as I get hungry I get the hiccups with baby, it's so funny. So I clearly need to go and have something to eat. 10:30, it is snack time, isn't it? So yeah, we've got the delicate neutrals bits as well that's still ready to ship. And then what I might do, some ready to ship bits, but the dyed to order side of things, I just don't want to take orders and then go into labour and not be able to fulfill those orders or something. So that's why I'm thinking I won't be doing any dyed to order bits, but keep an eye out because there might be like a shop update with ready to ship bits, just probably quite limited. And I also wanted to show you this because I was so excited. I ordered some new tissue paper. I had some white tissue paper previously and a bit of peach, but I found this online and I'm a bit in love. You'll notice it fits in with my knitting whips with the colours. So I picked up this new tissue paper for my orders, and here is my postcard. Look at the colour match between my logo and the tissue paper. Is that not just like the perfect match? So I was very pleased with that, and if you've had an order recently, it will have been in this tissue paper, and I really hope you enjoyed it as much as I have. It's also really nice quite a sort of luxury tissue paper. Some of the tissue paper I've used in the past is very lightweight, which is great because it's recyclable, and so is this, but just a bit flimsy. And then, yeah, sometimes I have to re-wrap things because as you wrap it, it like tears very easily and that kind of thing. So I was very excited to get that. Is that everything? I think so. So the rest of the video will be bits and pieces that I've filmed over the last couple of weeks, and maybe a little nursery tour of what we've done in the nursery and things that we've got ready for baby so far, a little tour of the garden and the plants that we've put in and the summer house, and a little look around the allotment as well, because there quite a few people said they were interested in that when I asked. So we'll show you what's going on down at the allotment and some projects I'm working on down there. But other than that, I think it will just be some like random clips, pretty things that I've filmed and seen, and I'm hoping that I will be back again with another video maybe every other week or something like that, with some knitting progress and vloggy bits. But because I'll be doing it more regularly, there probably won't be finished objects very frequently, but it will be more kind of keeping in touch. Oh, just waffling on. I find that I really procrastinate about filming podcasts and wanting it to be so perfect that I then just never film it, and I think you'd probably rather see me waffling on but actually putting up a video than never uploading anything, because I'm so bothered about it being just right. So I hope you don't mind me rambling and saying so 1,000 times. I hope you forgive me. It's been lovely to chat to you again, even if it has been a bit disjointed and I feel like I haven't been able to find my words and it's all been a bit muddly, but there we go. And I hope to see you all very soon. Let me know what you are working on. Have you been knitting whilst we've been chatting today? What are your project plans? Have you got any of the projects that I'm making on your needles, or any of the ones that I'm planning to make? Are you making them too? I'd love to know which yarns you're using and all of that lovely crafty stuff. And I will see you very soon. Bye! Hi everybody, how are you doing? Today is Friday the 30th of April, and Fridays are like my kind of housewife day. That's when I do the food shopping, make a cake for the weekend. I'm saying this like it's a regular routine, but I've done this for like 3 weeks. Yeah, I quite enjoy it. It's a nice morning of like, I do the food shopping, but I don't just go to the supermarket. I go to the fishmongers at the seafront to get our fish, and then I go to the farm shop to get our meat, because they use all local small scale farms, so that's really nice. And then I've just like come home and unpacked all of the shopping, which is my least favourite job, but it's all tidied away now, so that's okay. And my lunch is cooking. I'm just having like a little pizza thing, and this afternoon I'm going to make a cake. Making coffee and walnut cake. I've bought some walnut halves and I've obviously got coffee already, so yeah, fun afternoon. I went into Hobbycraft and bought some magnetic tape, which you'll find out more about later on. I have this idea for something that would be really useful for knitters and crocheters, but I need to try it out first, see if it works. I'll let you know how it goes. I'm hungry. I'm ready for my lunch, but I have to wait for it to cook. is made. I've just made myself a delicious coffee. B really wants to go in the garden, don't you? Do you want to go outside? Why did Mama say no? It's wet, isn't it? Hey? Is it wet? Oh, poor thing. I'll let you out in a minute. Okay, yeah. Oh. So I've got caramel syrup with latte. Yeah, with skim milk and some vanilla sprinkles on top. Delicious. And I'm just sitting down for a minute. And then I'm going to make some crab fish cakes. I bought some crab from the fishmongers today. And last week we had crab with tagliatelle, which was just delicious. But this week, yeah, crab fish cakes for dinner. So if you're lucky, you might get some crab. Do you want some crab? I better let her in the garden before you have a full tantrum. You're going to come up and say hi? You're going to come up? Come on then. Come up here. Yeah, there's plenty of room. Come on, darling. You're going that way. Go over here then. Yeah. Oh, hi, baby. Thank you. You're going to say hello to everybody? And come show your pretty face. Hmm? Are you purring? Don't eat Mama's flowers, darling. No, good girl. You want to go out then? Cat Mum life.